Hi everyone, welcome to another video announcement. As you know, we're right in the middle of part 2, module 1, and we've been talking about service learning. Hopefully you have a better idea of what you might want to do for your 15 hours of service learning, either a project or a research paper along with 15 hours of service learning. Again, you may pick any organization inside of OrgSync or even outside of that. There will be a form you need to fill out if you're wanting to do your service learning with a nonprofit that's not listed in OrgSync. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. By the end of this module that we're currently in, be sure you finish the service learning information that I have asked you to read, and then also take the service learning quiz. Coming up in module 2, part 1, we're going to be continuing our discussion about service learning, but thinking about it from a critical thinking point of view. How can you use your critical thinking skills in your service learning experience, and how could that help you maybe identify where you even want to do it and other things of that matter. So that'll be a discussion board that we'll be talking about as well. You start a little bit of work on your capstone assignment timeline. I want you to really think about the steps in there, and so I'm going to give you more time to work on that in this coming module 2, part 1. The timeline itself won't be due until the module after this one, so you still have another couple weeks to work on that. So hopefully you can spend some good time thinking about that and the contacts that you've been making with different organizations. Hopefully you'll know a little better by the time that's due of where you want to do it and what your timeline would be for your project or for your research paper. Also coming up in the next module is a journal. When we have journals in Blackboard, it's not necessarily like a journal. I will be reading your journal, but it's just basically a way for you to discuss to me and give me information about what you're thinking of in your service learning opportunity and what's happened so far. Some of you may not yet know where you're going to do your service learning, and that's fine, but you can still kind of discuss the process up to this point. And then another important part of what will open tomorrow in Module 2, Part 1 is an assignment called the Service Learning Confirmation Assignment. Everyone needs to fill that out, so when you do find out where you're going to do your service learning, if it's through OrgSync, then all I would need to see in that assignment is just a quick sentence saying that I'm doing my service learning through such and such organization as listed in OrgSync. If it's outside of OrgSync, then I do need you to fill out the student-initiated service learning form. You can find that in our course resources under the service learning, in the service learning folder. That needs to be filled out and signed by the person who will be your supervisor supervising your hours. And then at whatever point you get that filled out, which does not have to be in this next module, I realize that sometimes this takes a little longer than just 2 weeks to get your service learning identified and figured out. But whenever you get that filled out and signed, then you upload it to this assignment that's in Module 2, Part 1. That assignment will remain open for the semester, so of course you will need to get your service learning organization figured out sooner rather than later, but whenever that happens, then you can complete that part of the assignment. And that way I can keep all of the information of who's doing their service learning where in one place and not spread out in my email. So thank you for doing that. If you have questions about anything that we've been discussing so far, please let me know. I'm excited about what I've been hearing on the discussion boards about where you're doing your service learning, or where you're hoping to do it. So hopefully those ideas will pan out and that you'll have a great semester kind of putting your skills and experience to practical use in a service learning environment. So if you have questions, let me know, and if not, I'll definitely see you online. Thanks.